DadVolve Lessons from Zig Ziglar. Becoming the dad your family feels safe around. Zig Ziglar understood something most people miss. Success is not built in giant moments. It's built in repeated thoughts, repeated words, repeated actions, repeated identity, not perfection, patterns. And as dads, husbands, parents, our patterns become the emotional climate of the home. Your children don't just hear your words. They absorb your posture toward life. They watch how you react when stressed, how you talk about yourself, how you treat your spouse, how you respond when things go wrong. That becomes their normal. So let's teach Zig's ideas through the DadVolve lens. 1. You must have a dream. Wandering generality versus meaningful specific. Most dads secretly hope life gets better, but hope without direction becomes drift. Drift looks like waking up tired, scrolling to escape, reacting emotionally, saying maybe someday, surviving instead of leading. Zig said you cannot be a wandering generality. You must become a meaningful specific. A lot of dads say, I just want a happy family. That sounds nice, but it's too vague. What does that mean? What does that look like on Tuesday at 7:12 a.m. when cereal spills and someone can't find their shoes? DadVolve turns dreams into specifics. Not, I want peace, but I want my children to feel emotionally safe around me. I want my wife to feel supported instead of alone. I want my home to feel lighter when I walk into the room. I want to respond with calm more often than anger. I want my kids to remember my presence more than my pressure. Now the mind has a target, and the nervous system moves toward what is repeatedly imagined, just like GPS. A GPS cannot guide a car that refuses to choose a destination. Neither can your mind. Story anchor. Imagine two captains at sea. One says, I just hope we end up somewhere good. The other says, we're heading north, adjusting daily, watching storms carefully. Who survives rough waters better? Families are the same way. Without intentional direction, emotions become the captain. 2. Think like a champion before you feel like one. Zig's life changed when someone finally believed in him. That matters deeply, because many dads today secretly carry this internal script. I'm failing. I'm too far behind. I snap too much. I'm not enough. And over time, the brain starts looking for proof. Your mind is like a search engine. Ask, why am I such a failure? Your brain starts gathering evidence. But ask, how can I grow from this? Now the brain searches differently. That's why identity matters, not fake positivity. Identity direction. DadVolve isn't pretend everything is perfect. It's I'm becoming the dad who connects with calm. Notice the wording, not I am calm all the time. That's fake. Instead, I'm becoming repetition anchor. Your children do not need a perfect father. They need a father willing to repair, reflect, and return. Again, and again, and again. That repetition builds trust. 3. Commitment means pumping before the water comes. Zig used the old water pump analogy. At first, pump, 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 nothing. No water. Most people quit here. But eventually, the water comes. Parenting is exactly like this. You breathe before the breakthrough. You stay patient before the results. You lead before appreciation arrives. Sometimes you read bedtime stories for years before realizing they mattered. Apologize awkwardly before communication improves. Work on your anger before the family fully trusts the change. Exercise for weeks before energy improves. Lessons from Zig Ziglar. To yourself becoming the dad your family grows. Feels safe the pump around. Always feels Zig hardest Ziglar right understood momentum most people miss. And dad says too early emotional giant moments. Emotional anchor it's built story. In repeated a dad thoughts. Decides. Repeated I'm words. Going to stop repeated action. Day 1. Repeated identity. Snaps. Day not 3, perfection. He catches pattern halfway through. And as dads, Day 10, husbands, pauses parents, before reacting. Our patterns Day become 30, the emotional climate approaches of the home. Him more your often. Children don't 90, just hear your emotional words. Climate they of the absorb house your posture safer. Toward life. But if he judged they watch how you react when stressed, he would how you talk about yourself. 4. How you treat your spouse. Zig attack how you respond when things go wrong. Because procrastination that becomes their normal. So let's teach Zig's ideas through the DadVolve lens. Perfectionism. You must have a dream. Wandering generality versus meaning. meaningful,
now,
specific.
but most growth starts
dads
messy.
secretly
Anything
hope
worth
life gets
doing
better,
is worth
but
doing
hope
without
without
direction
first.
becomes
That
drift.
applies to
Drift looks
communication,
like waking up
mindfulness,
tired,
scrolling
budgeting,
to escape,
exercising,
reacting emotionally,
business building,
saying
emotional
maybe someday,
regulation,
surviving
the first
instead
workout
of
may be
leading.
sloppy.
Zig said
The
you
first
cannot be a
apology
wandering
may sound
generality.
awkward.
You
The
must
first
become
reel
a
may get
meaningful
47
specific.
views.
A lot of
Do it
dads
anyway,
say, I
because
just want a
confidence
happy
is earned
family.
through emotion,
That sounds
not
nice,
thought.
but it's too
DadVolve
vague.
analogy.
What does that
A lot
mean?
of dads wait
What
to
does that
become
look
calm
like on
before
Tuesday at
practicing
7:12
calm.
a.m.?
That's
When
backwards.
cereal
You
spills and
practice
someone
calm
can't
while
find
imperfect.
their shoes.
That's like
DadVolve
waiting to
turns
become
dreams
strong
into
before entering the
specifics.
gym.
Not
The reps
I want
create
peace,
the strength,
but
the
I want my
repetitions
children to
create
feel
the
emotionally
identity.
safe
5.
around me.
Keep your
I want
word,
my wife to
especially
feel
to yourself.
supported instead
This
of
one
alone.
hits hard.
I want my
Many
home to
dads
feel lighter
break
when I walk
promises
into
to
the room.
themselves
I
constantly.
want to respond
I'll
with
start
calm
tomorrow.
more often
I'll
than
stop
anger.
yelling.
I want
I'll
my
work
kids
out
to
tonight.
remember my
I'll
presence
spend more
more than
quality
my pressure.
time with the kids.
Now the
Then
mind
tomorrow
has a target,
comes,
and
the
the nervous
nothing
system
changes.
moves
Over
toward
time,
what is
the brain
repeatedly
stops
imagined.
trusting your
Just
own
like
voice.
GPS,
That damages
a GPS
self-respect.
cannot guide a
So
car
start
that
smaller.
refuses to
Smaller
choose a
promises.
destination.
More
Neither can your
consistency.
mind. Instead
Story
of
anchor.
I'll change
Imagine
my
to
whole
captains
life.
at sea.
Try
1
3
deep
deep
breaths
I just
before
hope we end up
responding.
somewhere
5
good.
push-ups
The other
after
says,
bedtime.
we're heading
10
north,
minutes of
adjusting
focused
daily,
connection.
watching
1
storms
encouraging
carefully.
text
Who
to your
survives
wife.
rough
1
waters
night
better?
without doom
Families
scrolling.
are the same
Tiny
way.
kept promises
Without
rebuild
intentional direction,
identity.
emotions
Six,
become the
evaluate your
captain.
life
2.
honestly.
Think
Zig
like a
talked
champion
about before
balanced
you
success.
feel like one.
Not
Zig's
just
life
money,
changed
because
when
someone
people
finally
make
believed
money,
in him.
but
That
lose
matters
connection.
deeply.
Lose
because
health.
many dads today secretly carry this internal script. I'm failing. I'm too far behind. I snap too much. I'm not enough. And over time, the brain starts looking for proof. Your mind is like a search engine. Ask, why am I such a failure? Your brain starts gathering evidence. But ask, how can I grow from this? Now the brain searches differently. That's why identity matters. Not fake positivity. Identity direction. DadVolve isn't pretend everything is perfect. It's I'm becoming the dad who connects with calm. Notice the wording. Not I am calm all the time. That's fake. Instead, I'm becoming. DadVolve analogy. A lot of dads wait to become calm before practicing calm. That's backwards. You practice calm while imperfect. That's like waiting to become strong before entering the gym. The reps create the strength. The repetitions create the identity. 5. Keep your word, especially to yourself. This one hits hard. Many dads break promises to themselves constantly. I'll start tomorrow. I'll stop yelling. I'll work out tonight. I'll spend more quality time with the kids. Then tomorrow comes. Nothing changes. Over time, the brain stops trusting your own voice. That damages self-respect. So start smaller. Smaller promises. More consistency. Instead of, I'll change my whole life. Try 3 deep breaths before responding. 5 push-ups after bedtime. 10 minutes of focused connection. 1 encouraging text to your wife. 1 night without doom scrolling. Tiny kept promises rebuild identity. 6. Evaluate your life honestly. Zig talked about balanced success, not just money, because some people make money but lose connection, lose health, lose joy, lose presence. DadVolve asks deeper questions. How does your family feel around you? Do your kids feel safe making mistakes? Does your spouse feel emotionally supported? Do you like who you are becoming? Would your children want to become someone like you emotionally? That last one is powerful, because kids rarely become what we say. They absorb what we repeatedly model. 7. Integrity changes everything. Integrity means who you are when frustrated, tired, unseen, or disappointed. It means apologizing when wrong, not manipulating, not pretending, aligning actions with values. Children can detect fake energy fast, but they deeply trust congruence. A calm dad who occasionally fails but owns it. Safe. A dad pretending perfection while blaming everyone else. Confusing. Integrity creates emotional stability. 8. Become a good finder. This may be Zig's most DadVolve compatible lesson. Your focus trains your nervous system. What you repeatedly search for expands. If you constantly look for disrespect, problems, laziness, messes, failure, your brain becomes a threat detector. But when you intentionally look for effort, growth, humor, tiny wins, connection moments, your emotional state shifts, not because life became perfect, because attention changed. Family analogy. Imagine two dads walk into the same messy kitchen. Dad number 1 sees, "Nobody respects me." Dad number 2 sees, "My family lived fully here today." Same kitchen, different meaning. Meaning shapes emotion. Emotion shapes behavior. Behavior shapes family culture. 9. Read daily, feed your mind. Zig knew, input shapes output. Most people feed their minds. Outrage, negativity, fear, comparison, short-form dopamine overload, then wonder why they feel anxious and reactive. Your brain becomes what it repeatedly consumes. 20 minutes daily of growth, wisdom, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, faith, leadership changes your internal dialogue over time. Slowly, then suddenly. 10. Failure is training. This is where many dads get stuck. They think mistakes define them, but mistakes train you. A child learning to walk falls constantly. Imagine if toddlers talked like adults. "Well, I fell again. Guess walking isn't for me." Ridiculous, right? Yet adults do this emotionally every day. Growth requires awkward repetitions. Parenting does too. Marriage does too. Business does too. You are not failing because growth feels clumsy. You are practicing. Final DadVolve integration. Read this slowly. Calm is practiced. Leadership is practiced. Patience is practiced. Connection is practiced. Confidence is practiced. Not born, built, one repetition at a time. So when you mess up, pause, breathe, reflect, repair, return. That cycle is growth. Again, pause, breathe, reflect, repair, return. That is the pump. Keep pumping, because one day your children will describe you not as perfect, but as present, not fearless, but willing, not flawless, but safe. And that kind of father changes generations.